Hello everyone, Elias5891 here, back with another KTANE module tutorial. This time we are continuing our look through the ordered keys variants. This time, reordered keys. You'll notice, hey, this looks like the other two keys. But this time, the keys turn black when you highlight them. That's your indicator that you're in reordered key land. A lot of the same details. We got key colors, we got key numbers, we got number colors, we got positions, but, good news, everyone. That big giant lookup table, gone. We now have much more reasonably sized, smaller lookup tables, which I can tolerate. The goal of this one is actually to assign numbers to each key, find out kind of a locked value, and then move the keys around so that that locked value stays put, and then it's sequential going around them. Might sound a little weird. It'll make sense as we go. Just like before, we're gonna give it the same information. I'm gonna give it in the same order just for consistency's sake. I'm actually gonna stack them sideways instead of up down like I have been. So be aware that's gonna change. This is a yellow 4 red, a red 3 yellow, a red 5 red, a green 4 yellow, a cyan 2 green, and a red 2 blue. And of course their positions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we'll get to the pivot in a moment. First though, we need to find the value of each key. Just like before, we're going to do some lookup. This time, grid 1, little bitty grid, gives us color of the key and label on the key. So in our first case, it would be, as we said, yellow 4. That gives us an F. That's just going to be a lookup in grid 3. Grid 2 gives us the color of the label, red, and the position, 1. That gives us a Victor. Okay, that's a column. And their cross is a value, 2 in this case. So this key is ranked number 2. We're going to do this same lookup for all 6 keys. That's going to be our first step. So let's continue. R3 gives us an F. Y2 gives us a U. FU is a 6. Next one, R5, that's a B. R3 is a U. BU is a 4. Next one, G4, Y4, CY is a 5. C2, G5, that's a CU, number 1. And then R2, B6, AV is a 3. Notice unique numbers across the board. You're gonna get that here. 2, 6, 4, 5, 1, 3. That's really what I care about right now. We'll come back to the other details. We'll leave them there because we will need them, but this is what we got right now. Now, step 2, pivot key. If exactly one of the keys has a label that is the same color as the key itself, then the pivot, well, we'll get to that. Let's see if it applies. Is there exactly one key where the color of the key is equal to the color of the label? So label same color as the key. Key color equals label color. In other words, both my letters are matching. In this case, the answer is yes. This third key, R5 or R3, that is a red key with a red text. See, right here, red key, red text. So, if this case applies, which it does, then the pivot is the key whose value is equal to that key's label. So the label of that key is 5, because remember it's color of key, label of key, 5, color of label, position. So 5 is my label. So the pivot is the one whose value is equal to the label of this key. So this key has a label of 5, so I want the key with a value of 5. That would be my fourth key, this key right here. So that means that that 5 key is my pivot point. So what I'm going to end up with at the end is I'm going to want 5 to stay put. I'm not going to be able to move it. And then everything else I want to go in numerical order, looping around as necessary. So I want this pattern in the end, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. To accomplish this, I'm just going to swap pieces around. However, here we have a combination of key possibilities. All of these are invalid combinations. If I move to one of those, I get penalized, and I get penalized hard. So we do not want to do that. So we're going to look over each step before we do it. So we're trying to get from 2, 6, 4, 5, 1, 3 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I personally like to put the numbers in order from front to back because that's kind of how they're sorted here, if I can. So if I swap the 3 and the 6, that give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. Oh, that's actually an invalid state, so I can't swap the 3 and the 6 because that would put me in this condition, and I don't want to strike. Well, that's fine. What if we instead go ahead and put the 6 in position? So then we get 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 3. Does that work? 2, 1, 4, 5, 3, 6 is not okay, but that's the only 2, 1, 4. So this is a fine first move. So we're going to swap key 2 and 5. That gets my 6 where I need it. And then I just need to swap my 1 and my 3. None of the correct solutions are invalid states because that would obviously be a problem. So then we just swap the 1 and the 3, which would be keys 2 and 6. That's all we gotta tell them. Hey, diffuser, switch out 2, 5, then 2, 6. 2, 5, boop. Notice the keys swap spots. 2, 6, boop. And when we're done, we're going boop, to push the pivot key. Pivot key was key 4. Key 4 to finish. Hey, we're done. Oh, wait, there's multiple stages. Yep, just when you thought you had an easy go. Nope, it's 2-stager. So we're gonna do it again. But as you can see, it's not that bad. So let's pop through it real quick. R1R, C6. Actually, I will stack them this time. C6 magenta, blue 1 cyan, cyan 5 magenta, red 4 blue, cyan 6 cyan. Oh good, we've got 2 that are the same color. That'll be nice. Also, alright, so let's look them up. R1, CV, 6. C6, M2, FV, that's a 2. B1, C3, FY, that's a 3. C5, M4, X, that's a 1. R4, B5, DY is a 4, so I should get a 5 for this last one. C6, C6, FX, that is indeed a 5. So there are my 6 keys. Easy enough to get the values. Let's check the pivot. If exactly one key has a label matching the color of the key itself. Not the case this time. The first and the last key are both not only same color, same color of label, it's also same label and same position, which is humorous to me, slightly. So we can't do this first rule here. So instead, we have to do this one. Otherwise, the pivot is the key whose value, in grid 3, whose value is equal to what we look up with this. We're going to look up the row given by the sum of the primary colored labels. What? So we're going to look at the labels, and we're going to determine if they're primary colors or secondary colors. The labels, so that would be R, M, C, M, B, C. So either they're primary or they're secondary. Red is a primary color. Magenta is a secondary. Cyan is a secondary. Magenta is a secondary. Cyan is a secondary. Blue is a primary. So we're going to sum the labels of the primary colored ones. That is label 1, remember that's this first number, plus 4 is 5. So we're going to take that, modulo 6, that's 5. So we get row 5. Row 5. And it specifies, oops, to start with A equals 0. So 0 is A. B, C, D, E, F. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking in this one for the pivot. How about the column? Well, the column is some of the secondary labels, modulo 6. Starting with U equals 0. So it's 0 to 5, 0 to 5. So again, we'll count the secondary labels. That's 6, plus 1 is 7. I'm moduloing 6, so let's go ahead and modulo the 6 there. That becomes a 1. Plus 5 is 6. Plus 6 is 12. Modulo 6 is 0. So we're going for 0, FU, because 0 is U. That gives us 6. So label 6, not label 6, I'm sorry, value 6, this one right here, is going to be our pivot this time. So our current sequence is 6, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, and our goal is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 2 swaps can do it if we can pull it off. Let's see if we can. Optimally, like I say, I like to get the earlier numbers in place first, so that'd be putting a 1 there. Can I do that? 6, 1, 3, 2, 6, 1, 3, oh, 4. Yeah, that's fine. 2, 4, 5, and then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just to finish up. So we're going to swap the 1 and the 2, that's pieces 2 and 4. And we're going to swap 3 and 4, the 2 and the 3 there. And then we're going to hit the pivot, which is the first one. So 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, pivot 1. Hey, we're done. And just like all the others, when we finish, we get that nice set of white 0 in black text. And we're done. Yay, another one down. I'm not going to go through a whole nother one of that one, but I will do one to read to you guys so you can give it a try. So per my usual, let's clear out my notes. Clear them all out. I'll scroll up here to start. You may want to grab your own because there's multiple pages you may need. See if you can figure this one out from start to finish, just based off of what we get here. So let's blank the game. Let's blank the notebook. That sounds inappropriate. Let's blank the notebook. So we'll get those taken care of. Start the bomb up, like so. I will read it out to you. Give it a go. So here we go.
All available experts, please report to room A9.
The keys this time are yellow 2 yellow, magenta 5 red, magenta 1 cyan, yellow 6 green, red 4 red, yellow 3 cyan. That's yellow 2 yellow, yellow 5 red, I'm sorry, yellow 2 yellow, magenta 5 red, magenta 1 cyan, yellow 6 green, red 4 red, and yellow 3 cyan. So take a moment, see if you can figure those out. Give the video a pause if you need to. Figure this one out, and then unpause, and we'll solve it. Alright, so here's what we got. Let's do our lookups. Y2, Y1, E, W, U is a 3. Side note, notice that there is an R4R and a Y2Y, so we're going to use the ugly rule on the pivot. M5, R2, DY, that's a 4. M1, C3, that is AY, that's a 2. Y6, boop, G4, that's my 4th key. BW is a 5. R4, R5, R4, D, R5, X, dx is a 2. That's a problem. Oh, that's because... yeah, that's a problem. We'll loop back and figure out which one of those is wrong, but this is a good example of why you do them all, even if you think you're done. Also, why you reset this board periodically. Y3, C6. AX is a 1, so I should have a 6 somewhere. So let's double check these 2s. Maybe I messed something up. MA, C3, AY, or R4, R5. Now what do we do here? This is a sign that your diffuser screwed up. Now looking at this, I see what I did. You probably realized it when I put the screen on screen. Also, you probably didn't finish the module because you were confused. I'm sorry. So what do we do with this? Well, we tell them that we got a problem. Double check the 3rd and the 5th key for me. I have magenta 1 cyan. That's pretty solid. And red 4 red. You know what, now that I look at it, that's probably a magenta and not a red for the label. So it should be R4M. Does that fix your problem? Well, let's see if that fixes my problem. R4M5 now puts me at a Z. Hey! Yeah, that fixes it, thanks. So now we have some stuff to do. Bonus, we now also only have one color of label equals color of key. That Y2Y. So, our pivot became a lot easier now that we fixed that mistake. If exactly one of the keys has a label, same color as the key itself, then the pivot is the key whose value is equal to the label of the key. The label of the key is 2, so we need the key whose value is 2, and that's this one. So, currently I have this sequence. The 2 is going to stay put, so what I'm going to need is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. That's a lot of swaps. That's the most swaps we've had to do. Every single number is going to have to move. Oh well. At least it's not going to be boring. As I said before, I like to move things over as far left as possible to start. Makes it easier to see through things. So, let's start by getting that 6 in a position. Does that work? 6, 4, 2, 3, 5, 1 would be invalid. I'm fine. So that is key 1 and 5. Then we're going to get the 1 into place. 6, 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 5. Not a match, so that's fine. That was switching the second one with the 6th one. Then can we put the 3 into place? 6, 1, 2... yeah, as long as I don't hit 4, 3, 5, which I'm not going to. So yeah, then I switch out 4 and 5. And then I switch out 5 and 6. And then I submit on 3. Alright, long sequence. 1 and 5. 2 and 6. 4 and 5. 5 and 6. Submit 3. Hey, we're done. I'll be honest, I don't want to do another one. If you want to pause for a second, knock yourself out. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm also not going to do it. I'm lazy. I will note that if you error, so we hit that pivot early, it does reset the entire stage, and any work you've done up to that point is garbaged. I know from what I've heard that this set of modules gets a lot of slack, not a lot of slack, a lot of flack. I'm not saying it does or doesn't deserve it. I'm saying there are parts that drag on a little bit, and this is one of them. This one's only 2 stages, but I'm not really sure why it's 2 stages. I think this would be perfect as a 1-stage module. Maybe not perfect, but it would feel really good time-wise. Doing it twice is a little draggy in my mind, but could just be me. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, just drop them down below as always. Hit me up on Discord, whatever. And that's going to do it for this one. Next time, we will continue our look at the ordered keys variants and hit misordered keys. That one will be fun. Alright, well, until that time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care, have a great day, and don't explode. Bye now.